Hey, my friend, we need to talk, because the Dallas Cowboys just hit the panic button, and I'm not even exaggerating. Right now, the quarterback room in Dallas looks dangerously thin. Cooper Rush is gone, that's right. The guy who stepped in when needed, the reliable backup who gave us peace of mind, is no longer part of the roster. And what's left? Just Dak Prescott and Will Grier. That's it. Just two QBs. And I've got to be honest with you, this is more than just a depth issue. This is a full-blown red alert. Let's be real. You can't go into an NFL season with only one proven quarterback and expect everything to go smoothly. And trusting Will Grier to be the next man up? That's a massive gamble. The guy hasn't taken a regular season snap since 2019. That's almost 6 years without real game action. No rhythm, no recent pressure situations, no live bullets flying, just preseason tape and practice reps. And sure, the team still has Trey Lance under contract, but let's not fool ourselves here. If the front office had real plans for him, we would have seen something, anything, by now. But all signs point to Lance being nothing more than a long-shot project at this point. That's why this backup QB situation just became one of the most urgent problems the Cowboys have to solve. Not next month, not during training camp, right now. And here's where I want to hear from you, because your opinion matters in this conversation. Tell me in the comments, would you trust Will Grier as, the Cowboys QB2 this season? Type yes or no below. Let's open that debate now, because in the next chapter, I'll walk you through the paths the Cowboys can actually take to fix this situation before it turns into a disaster. Ready? Let's keep going. All right, now that we've set the stage, let's talk about the real question. What's the plan? If you're in the Cowboys front office right now, you've got 3 possible paths to solve this quarterback backup mess: draft, trade, or free agency. Each option comes with its own risks, benefits, and timing. And trust me, none of them is a guaranteed home run. Let's start with the NFL draft. Dallas has 10 total picks this year, and that gives them some flexibility. But here's the catch. Don't expect them to burn a high pick on a backup QB. The sweet spot is day 3, rounds 5 and 6, where the team can take a developmental quarterback without heavy pressure or high expectations. And this isn't new. The Cowboys have a history of picking QBs late and trying to mold them into contributors. Cooper Rush came from that mold. So did Mike White back in the day. The front office loves the idea of grooming someone cheap and young behind Dak. But what if they want a more experienced guy without the waiting game? That's where a trade could come in. Maybe they send out a late-round pick to grab a veteran stuck in a crowded depth chart elsewhere. It's more aggressive, sure, but it could also give you a safer insurance policy right away. Then there's free agency, and we'll dive into that in more detail later. But it's the simplest route. Sign a guy now, plug him in, and hope he holds down the fort if needed. Now let me bring you into this decision. Imagine you were calling the shots in Dallas today. What would you do? Drop your vote in the comments. D for draft, T for trade, or F for free agency. I want to see what direction you'd take if you had the keys to the star. Coming up next, I'll break down some specific draft targets who could realistically land in Dallas. You might just find the next Cooper Rush in that group. Let's go. All right, you voted. A lot of you are leaning toward the draft route, and honestly, that makes sense. It's low risk, high upside, and fits the Cowboys' philosophy perfectly. So now, let's talk names. Who could be that next low-round gem? That next Cooper Rush type who comes in quietly and ends up becoming a steady, reliable backup behind Dak? I've got 3 real possibilities for you. Each one brings something different to the table. And each one has that classic day 3 potential. Let's start with Tyler Show. This guy's been around the block. He started at Oregon, transferred to Texas Tech, and when you watch him play, you see a high football IQ. He processes defenses well, doesn't panic in the pocket, and knows how to lead an offense. But here's the catch. He's had a long injury history, including a broken fibula and shoulder issues. Add that to the fact that he's already 24 years old, and it raises the question, Is his ceiling already capped? Still, if you want a quarterback who could step in quickly with minimal development time, Show might be your guy. Next up, Quinn Ewers. Now this one's a bit more polarizing. Ewers is one of the most intriguing prospects in this class. He's got a great football mind, a solid feel for timing, and he knows how to handle complex systems. But man, his mechanics are a mess. He tends to get sloppy with footwork, and under pressure he crumbles way too easily. There's talent, no doubt, but you're not drafting a backup, you're drafting a project. If Dallas wants to bet on long-term upside, Ewers is the lottery ticket. And then we've got Will Howard. Big arm, big frame, tough guy. He's probably the most physically gifted of the three, and that cannon he's got for a right arm could light up training camp. But he's streaky. He can dominate one quarter and then throw 2 picks the next. Turnovers are a concern, and his decision-making needs serious polish. Still, if you believe in coaching development, Howard's raw tools make him a very interesting target. So, now I want to hear from you. Which one of these QBs would you trust most as Dak's backup? Drop your pick in the comments. Shaw, Ewers, or Howard? Let's get that comment section buzzing. I'm really curious which profile you think fits best with the Cowboys' offensive identity. Up next, we'll dig a little deeper and explore those less hyped names who might surprise everyone and quietly steal that QB2 spot. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. Now that we've looked at the more prominent Day 3 names, let's go even deeper. Because hey, if the Cowboys are going to use a late-round pick or even dip into the undrafted free agent pool, they've got to keep an eye on those less flashy, under-the-radar guys. Sometimes it's the unexpected name that ends up being the perfect fit. Let's kick it off with Kyle McCord. He's got that classic gunslinger style, big throws, fearless attitude, and a solid final stretch last season at Ohio State. The arm talent is there, and he's not afraid to push the ball downfield, but consistency is his biggest enemy. His decision-making can get erratic, especially when defenses disguise coverages. Still, if you want a guy who brings a little fire and upside, McCord's worth a look late in the draft. Next up, Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel is the opposite of flashy. He's more of a surgical, precise quarterback who thrives on timing throws and smart decisions. He's accurate, he protects the football, and he's a true game manager. But here's the downside. His physical tools are limited. Small frame, average arm strength. In other words, he's steady, but not spectacular. Then there's Riley Leonard. If you're looking for a QB who can move, Leonard's your guy. He's a strong runner, shows toughness in the pocket, and brings a lot of energy. The problem? His arm just doesn't pop. It's serviceable, but nothing special. In today's NFL, that's a real limitation. And finally, 2 wildcards, Curtis Rourke and Max Brosmer. Both are developmental types who could land as UDFAs. Rourke is a smart, composed passer with good fundamentals. Brosmer is efficient and accurate but lacks athletic traits. Low ceiling, but potentially high floor as a long-term QB3. Now it's your turn. If you had to take a shot on one of these underdog QBs, who would it be? McCord, Gabriel, Leonard, Rourke, or Brosmer? Drop your pick in the comments. I want to see who you'd bet on as a sleeper pick. Coming up next, we shift gears to the veteran market. Let's talk free agency and who's still out there. All right, now let's talk free agency. Because if the Cowboys don't find their backup QB in the draft, they might just take the veteran route. And let's be real. This front office loves a low-risk, low-cost veteran who can hold the clipboard and step in if needed. So who's actually available out there for a price tag under $3 million? Let's run through the names. Sam Ehlinger might be the most logical option. He's young, he's cheap, and he's got ties to Texas. Not a flashy passer by any means, but he's mobile, smart, and could be molded into a solid QB too. Think of him as a high-floor, low-ceiling insurance policy. Then there's Drew Lock. He's got starting experience, a big arm, and flashes of playmaking ability. But let's not sugarcoat it. His decision-making has been all over the place. Still, if you want a backup with some upside and tools to work with, he's an intriguing option. Carson Wentz is a wild card. He's got experience, size, and a powerful arm, but his career has been a roller coaster, mostly headed downhill. Turnovers, injuries, locker room concerns, it's all part of the Wentz package. Still, if you're desperate for a big name, he's out there. Desmond Ridder could be an interesting project. He's young, he started games in the league, and he still has development potential. But his on-field performance so far? Below average. Still, he's worth a look. And of course, Jameis Winston. The fan favorite for one reason, pure entertainment. He's fearless, fun to watch, and when he's on, he can light it up. But with Winston, you also get the chaos. High risk, high reward. So let me ask you, which of these vets would you want in silver and blue? Drop your pick in the comments. Eli Enger, Locke, Wentz, Ridder, or Winston. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now. This is Cowboys News TV, bringing you Cowboys updates every single day. See you in the next one.